Achille Mbembe's book, based on a decade of study, delves into the grotesque and carnivalesque aspects of political domination in post-colonial Africa. Rejecting a simplistic view of colonial versus post-colonial power dynamics, Mbembe emphasizes concepts like complicity and conviviality. He introduces the notion of necropolitics, highlighting the centrality of the power to kill in post-colonial African sovereignty. The pivotal chapters, The Aesthetics of Vulgarity and The Thing and Its Doubles, connect the arbitrary nature of post-colonial domination to the violence experienced by the subjected individuals. Mbembe explores the violent repercussions of colonial and post-colonial commandment, which can generate more violence from the oppressed. The book also delves into the relationship between language, African political economies, violence, and the traumas of slavery, colonization, and the post-colony. The final chapters explore the philosophical and theological dimensions of violence, trauma, subjectivity, and writing. The concluding chapter delves into the phenomenology of violence, examining the intersections of power, death, sovereignty, and political subjectivity. Overall, Mbembe's work offers a comprehensive exploration of these themes in post-colonial Africa. The book's theoretical progression is accompanied by a writing style that skillfully blends literary narrative with analytical discourse, presenting Africa as a site of crisis. Mbembe explores the language, vacuity, violence, and excesses of colonial commandment, often drawing inspiration from African literary works, such as Tuchuala's Palm Wine Drinkard. By appropriating creative language for analysis, Mbembe aims to uncover an aesthetic and ethical understanding of life in post-colonial Africa, recognizing the role of narrative in inspiring political action. Mbembe investigates the consequences for politics and the individual when violence becomes the prevailing form of power in contemporary Africa. Drawing on Achille Mbembe, he highlights the role of confronting death as a condition for political emancipation. Mbembe provocatively associates death with animalistic and vegetal elements, discussing power's mask of animality and its intimate relation with excrement. Such analysis challenges conventional thinking and underscores the inseparable link between violence and post-colonial African politics. The experience of slavery occupies a crucial place in the African political imaginary. Mbembe explores the intricate connection between this historical experience and Africa's unfavorable integration into the global political economy. However, he diverges from Achille's understanding of the master-slave dialectic, seeing the emergence of liberty as intertwined with the domination and humiliation of the slave. This prompts the question of whether the African post-colony holds a different historical and political destiny for liberty. Mbembe's book explores the impact of war, politics, technology, and the economy on the African continent. He highlights the blurring boundaries between economic activity and warfare, resulting in the breakdown of societal structures and the impotence of the state. The absence of contractual reciprocity during decolonization further solidifies the state as a tool of domination, without ensuring its legitimacy in the public sphere. This leads to a politics of predation, privilege, and violence, merging power with coercion. One striking aspect of Mbembe's depiction of the post-colony is the disappearance of a social sphere that would compel both the state and its subjects to confront the simulations and reiterations of power. However, Mbembe acknowledges the potential for mediation and antagonism within African discourse and political movements. He refers to the use of public discourse as a means of keeping the terms of discussion relevant. The Pathetics of Politics described by Bidima explores political mobilization and the sources of political passion in contemporary Africa, highlighting the value of ongoing debates and discussions. In post-war Sierra Leone, for instance, public forums provide spaces for discussing political projects aimed at transforming governance and challenging autocratic values. Younger, educated individuals, often from the diaspora, creatively appropriate discourse in humanitarian law to advocate for change. The older generation, aware of the youth's aspirations and experiences during the war, recognizes the need to listen and adapt to prevent their departure from rural areas. This highlights the importance of inclusivity and flexibility in countering arbitrary power dynamics. Mbembe also discusses the erosion of state sovereignty due to the privatization of state functions and the influence of supranational institutions, such as the IMF and UN. This further complicates the relationship between war, coercion, and capital in the post-colonial context.